Look at, say hi. Okay, so Riley and I are here. We're going to do our little video on hunger, energy, and cravings. Do you get hungry and like to eat? So, hunger, energy, and cravings. This is a big focus this week. And why do we focus on that? Because that is our body's way of letting us know what's working and what's not working. Is this working for you? So, hunger, energy, and cravings let us know, it gives us that gauge. So, if we're hungry, it's not working. We usually need to up protein when we're hungry. And hunger comes from the gut. Okay, so we want to focus on our numbers for hunger should be 5 or less. So if you're thinking about hunger and you're like, I'm really hungry, I'm at like a 10, or well, 10's like extreme. But if you're 5 or higher, if you're constantly falling in that 7 to 8 range for hunger, you're not satisfying your body. So we need to really up our protein. We need to really look at our water intake and our vegetables. So those three things, starting with water and protein, are really, really important. That's why we have these accountability trackers, because you want to just check off every time you have about 24 ounces of water, check it off. Every time you have a protein, check it off. So you should have about 5 to 6 checks in a day for protein. Did you get your 5 to 6 checks in today? And you should have all your checks for your vegetables, all your checks for your water, and that's why it's just a quick reference to see and gauge where you're at. So if your hunger is coming up high, we need to check our protein, our water, and our vegetables. Energy. If your energy is coming in low, so if you're constantly feeling you're at a 3 or a 4, that's a big factor. We need to look at sleep and we need to look at stress. This is more about the batteries of the body. So what do I mean? What do I mean by that? Obviously, I'm exerting all my batteries because I can't even speak. So the batteries in the body, they're emotional, cognitive, physical, and throughout the day, we drain them. Every day. Every time we make a decision, we drain it. Every time we work out, we drain it. Every time we're dealing with a stressful situation, we drain these batteries. And so at the end of the day, if all those batteries are drained and our nutrition's not 100% right, or our sleep is not 100% right, our energy is going to come up as low. So we want to make sure that when we're recording our energy for the day, we want 6 or higher. If we're not getting 6 or higher, if it's more like 5 or lower, we really need to look at what is the stress in our life, how are we managing it, and we'll get to this. I know this is not until the next 2 weeks that we're going to get to stress, but we need to start thinking about it, especially if our energy is constantly low. Also, there is a nutritional factor with energy. So physically, if that battery's low, it could be because we're not getting the proper amount of meals in. The other thing with energy for certain people, if you're a muscle burner, you can relate to this. Muscle burners tend to need a little bit more carbohydrates. So if you're finding that 2 carbs in a day is just not sustaining your energy, you may need to play around and add a 3rd carbohydrate at dinner time and see if that helps to boost your energy. So energy's really, really important to focus on. Finally, cravings. Cravings are more emotional. Cravings come from the brain. Cravings are usually habitual. People, places, things trigger a craving, like a drink would or a cigarette would, or so check yourself first. One of the things we like to do with cravings is kind of surf that craving. Try to sit with it. Instead of avoiding it or getting busy, try to really go in and do some detective work. Why am I craving this? Oh, I'm in the kitchen. It's 9 o'clock. I normally had ice cream at this time every night. So no wonder why I'm craving ice cream at 9 o'clock at night. So what do? We evaluate it. We assess it. We do our detective work, right? And then we change our patterns. So once we remove the trigger of the habit, it won't be there. So I always say this to my clients who go on vacation. All your triggers are gone. All your stressors are gone. That's why you're able to sometimes come home and lose weight. So that's something to understand. So what we want to do is, instead of being at the kitchen at 9 o'clock, maybe at 8:30, go upstairs, take a nice bath, start reading a book, change the whole routine and remove the trigger and remove that emotional from the brain urge to satisfy that craving. So again, our hunger and our cravings, we want 5 or less, and our energy, we want 6 or higher. Really important to start thinking about our bodies in terms of this, because when our HEC is in check, that means our hormones are coming into balance. And the more it becomes balanced, oh, am I boring you? I'm sorry. The more it becomes balanced, the more we're able to avoid all this hunger and cravings and be full of energy. And that's the goal. So this week with nutrition, we're halfway through the nutrition Big Rock Week. We really want to make sure that we're processing our accountability chart and always ending the day with really evaluating our HEC, our hunger, energy, and cravings. Is that good? Can you say bye-bye? Can you say bye-bye? Okay. Say bye-bye. Say thanks for coming. We'll see you. Have a great night. Hunger, energy, and cravings. We want that in check. Hope you're all well.